Mr. Adiola Oduntan, General Manager, Global Sourcing and Supply Chain Finance at MTN Nigeria, delivers a powerful message on how MTN is reshaping its supply chain playbook through Pan-African integration. In this exclusive coverage, we break down the strategies, insights, and forward-thinking ideas driving MTN's resilience across the continent. If you're passionate about supply chain, retail, or Africa's evolving business landscape, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and stay tuned for more industry-leading insights from Supply Chain First.
And I'll be looking at the basically 4 key points is defining both approaches and their trade-offs. That's the approach of the protectionism and Pan-African integration. I'll also be exploring Nigeria's policy, trajectory, and regional initiatives so far. I'll share practical implications for supply chain, and of course, we'll be looking at the MTN initiatives and how we've been able to navigate the dynamics. Next slide. So, what is the protectionism overview? The protectionism overview is such that you are protecting the local industries. You need the local industries to be able to grow, and such that you are then creating barriers to imports. Yeah, and also you're bringing in increased cost and reduced efficiencies. While the Pan-African integration, you're opening up your border, and then you are basically harmonizing regulations, promoting seamless trade through digital protocols and efficient logistics. Now, so what is the trade-off? How do you want to manage these dynamics? Because now this is what is referred to as the crossroad. So how do you want to manage the dynamics between whether to open up the border or to protect local industries, so to speak? Next slide. So just look at a 2025 snapshot of Nigeria's trade environment, and we're basically going to be looking at the trajectory so far. Yeah. First, we had the unified FX market reform, where the CBN lifted foreign exchange restrictions on 43 items. This basically improved liquidity and market access. And it also reduced reliance on parallel FX markets. It enables stable FX and helps to reduce currency risk in cross-border businesses. We all know, of late, what the FX fluctuations have been. The experience had not been so good with the fluctuations that happened late. I think the last time we had similar thing was sometime in 2016. And then of late, we had situation where you issue a PO, a purchase order today, and by the next day, your supplier is already calling you to say he's not able to deliver that purchase order, right? So those fluctuations were very, very disruptive to businesses, and then you begin to look at how you mitigate against them, right? So part of the gains that we've seen from the initiatives is the fact that at least so far the exchange rate has stabilized, and that is basically very impressive and good for businesses' growth. The next is the digital trade protocol adoption. Of course, the AFCTA digital trade protocol that enabled harmonized electronic payments, data governance, and digital identity across Africa. And then I also looked at the concessions. Yeah, Nigeria gazetted tariff concessions under the AFCTA to promote preferential tariffs and boost intra-Africa, and then of course making the country of preferential origin under the AFCTA agreement. And of course lastly is the BOW custom platform, which was designed to complement the objective of the AFCTA. I just want to start. So there was this experience we had lately. Sorry, just still on the. Okay, don't worry, it's fine. Yeah, on the BOW. I'm not sure how many of us had any disruption as a result of the changeover or switchover. It was? Okay. So again, yes, it's technology, introduction of technology. The adoption was a bit slow in implementation, but overall, we're expecting that those are some of the gains that we'll begin to see over the period as it's stabilizing. Next slide. So basically, these are basically some of the enablers. I've spoken about the tariff concessions, the digital trade protocol, and then of course the Pan-African payment settlement, which basically enables instant cross-border payments. Yeah, and of course the ECOWAS roaming that reduces communication costs to travelers and supports regional connectivity. Next slide. So here I just want to be able to pick out the tariff structures and levies. Nigeria follows ECOWAS 5-band tariff system with extra levies on wheat and rice to protect industries. At the time this happened, I know there were a lot of debate at that time to say, should these tariffs should there be extra tariffs? And also, there was also the border closure. So there was the foreign exchange reform, there was the customs modernization, and then of course the border closure. The essence of the border closure was for Nigeria, and I'm sure we all remember this, was basically to enable local industry growth. But at the end of the day, I'm sure we all remember what the experiences were. Yeah, so you were protecting from bringing rice, for instance, into the country, and trying to see how we develop local production. But did it really work? Yeah. So at the end of the day, you couldn't bring in the foreign rice into the country. The prices skyrocketed. The local rice were not available, and then at the end of the day, we ended up opening the border. Again, like I said, my job is simple. It's for the panelists, very distinguished panelists that will be seated here to come and tell us which way to go. It's a two-edged sword, right? Next slide. So I'll just be looking at the MTN story. Next slide. So it's a two-edged sword, like I mentioned. So how are we at MTN how were we able to navigate it? Right? So either way, we had our strategies, right, in place to be able to navigate. And the first was being to our first response to protectionism was that we had localized procurement and developed vendor programs to mitigate FX exposure. Now you recall that at MTN, most of our equipment they are not produced locally. So it does mean that we have what we call GFA, Group Frame Agreements. And now what Group Frame Agreement does is to take advantage of volume procurement and discounts, such that when I'm buying products, similar products, I can use it for the different operating companies. So it doesn't have to be only for Nigeria. So it could be for MTN Ghana and other operating companies. So now we take advantage of those. However, the challenge we then had was in FX. So what we had to do was to start localizing our contracts, the group frame agreements, and to also be able to navigate the exchange rate challenges. We then were now indexing the contracts in Naira as against in dollar. So those are some of the things we did. Aside that, we were also doing at that time, we were also advancing payments. 70% of the contract sum was part of what we're doing. And overall, we are geared and really supporting the government's policy on supply localization. Not only that, so even for those that we are not able to localize, we make sure that there are training opportunity for them to be able to pass on the knowledge to our local team. So what's the next step is we also ensure that you're all aware of the 5G launch supports digital trade and e-commerce growth in Nigeria. We all know what the infrastructure investment in Nigeria is like for MTN, right? And this is why you always enjoy that network, right? Yeah. No. Okay. So maybe it's not where it should be yet, right? But comparatively, it's MTN and others, right? Exactly. So it's MTN and others, and it's MTN everywhere you go. Even in your villages, you're able to connect with MTN. Correct. Yeah. And of course, the infrastructure challenge is there, but MTN continues to invest in network expansions despite ports and power challenges. So we're beginning to adapt solar panels, green ESG at our stations now. So you see we begin to play down on the use of fuel in powering the switching centers and all that. So, on the other hand, if you're looking at leveraging the Pan-African integration and opening up the business, so how are we able to navigate this? So basically what we're doing is first ensuring extensive digital infrastructure. How many of us know Baobab? Baobab? Oh yes, Baobab, yes. So basically Baobab is a sister company of MTN Nigeria, and of course MTN Group as well. And so Baobab operates over 100,000 kilometer proprietary fiber across Africa, expanding to 135,000 kilometer by the end of this year. We also are ensuring let me go there first. The seamless cross-border communication. You are aware that even if you're out of the country, even if you're out of Nigeria, you're able to roam your MTN line seamlessly. So this enables seamless communication across countries. And of course, the Momo PSB, right? Who is familiar with Momo? Very good. So when I say Momo, please you say it's better than cash. Momo, I know we have some of our competition here, the fintech one. Yeah, but it's Momo is better than cash. Right now, you are able to transfer money cross-border across African, about 7 or 8 African countries as we speak. And we're still growing our capability and capacity in that space. Now, go to the East-West projects. The East-West project is being able to ensure connectivity for landlocked African countries using terrestrial optic fiber cables. The next slide. So what do I mean by that? Now, if you see what we have, you have the number of submarine cables, that enables the seamless communications that you have. Now, all of these area that by the landlocked. So, for instance, if you want to move from East Africa to West Africa, right? There are no sea connectivity from there. So those are landlocked areas. And so for us to be able to do that, there is a major project that is now enabling that to drive that connectivity. Right? Okay. I see. Okay. All right. Next slide. So the key competitive advantage on both sides is one, for protectionism, it offers your short-term relief but risks long-term inefficiency, right? So if you protect your borders, you are able to get some sort of relief, expansion, which was, for instance, the case of the border shots during the rise. We were able to also see some companies or manufacturing side springing up and start, building rice production and all that. It's just that unfortunately they were not able to meet the capacity, and so and they were not able to meet the demand that even the local demand, not to talk of where they start exporting. The other one is integration unlocks skill and of course resilience. So the call to action here for me is through our picks is first is policymakers, they need to fast track CTA participation and harmonize digital trade rules. The second is for businesses, we need to map the AFCTA opportunities, digitize documentation and pilot the paths. That's it from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching this exclusive coverage with Mr. Adeola Oduntan. We hope you found his insights on Pan-African supply chain integration valuable. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned to Supply Chain First for expert updates across Africa's supply chain, logistics, procurement, retail, healthcare, aviation, transportation, manufacturing, and more. See you in the next video.
For more exclusive stories and updates, visit our website at supplychainfirst.com. If you're hosting a supply chain, logistics and procurement conference, event, or industry program, and you need full professional media coverage, reach out to us at info@supplychainfirst.com or contact us through our website wherever you are in Africa. We are ready to be there, supporting your event and helping to grow the industry together. Thank you once again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in our next update.